Greetings and salutations to all of you lovely and beautiful people out there in YouTube land. Welcome back to yet another installment of Counter Reaction. So, today's episode, I'm just going to be giving you guys my final thoughts on the Kendrick versus Drake beef. Now, before we get started, I'd like to take a look at some of the comments. Didn't get much. I didn't think that these videos were going to do well given the timeline. I did it a lot later than almost everybody else did. I didn't do catchy, little titles. I was kind of on a time constraint, to be quite honest with you. That's why I reused the same assets for the thumbnail. I could have put a lot more effort into it, and the fact that the videos didn't do that great it's a culmination of different things, and I definitely didn't help. But to be quite honest with you, I'm totally fine with it. I figured that this would be the case. Could have maybe got an extra few hundred or so, but the main thing is that the vast majority of my subscribers are here for like the vocalists and the pop music. So if they don't click on the video, it's not going to be sent to anyone, basically. So even the people searching for it, there's going to be other results that are going to be on top because they have a fan base that are already clicking on it to begin with. And there's other factors involved, sure, that involve like SEO and just the algorithm itself. But yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, I wanted to take a look at some of the comments here before we continue. Let's go to part 1. Let's do this. Okay, Jason, glad you jumped on this beef. I like Drake and K Dotted, but I'm here for the action. Appreciate you, Jason. Shay, what's good, my bro? Yeah, happy to see some rap on the channel. Look, I know, man. I know. I actually just decreased the price on Patreon to $5.99. Did I think $8.99 was too expensive? No. I mean, given how much content is put on the Patreon every month, I think that it's well worth it. But to make it a little bit more accessible, I figured that I would just decrease the price. And the fact of the matter is that if I can't get more people on the Patreon, I'm gonna have to shut everything down, including the channel, just because it's starting to not make sense based off of how much time I'm putting into it and how much more time I could be putting into other things that could be a lot more fruitful for me, that align with my expertise, that lay outside of music. So it's getting to that point. So I'm very prideful. I don't like asking people like, hey, join the Patreon. It's there if you want to join. But at this point, it'd be awesome if you guys did. It'd be awesome if there's tons of fucking content on that Patreon right now. It is well worth the money, I assure you. Okay. Even outside, Def Meta said, I always recognize the profile pics. I don't like when you guys change your names, because I remember you guys. I remember you. Yeah, but sometimes you guys change your names and shit. And I'm like, who the fuck are you? I don't know who this is. Because some of you I let slide sometimes when you talk a little slick. And I'm just like, all right, it's all good. But, okay, even outside of who's lying, who's telling the truth, and the industry politics of the beef itself, I feel like Kendrick has been on another level in wordplay. It's like his anger he felt just unlocked some poetic gemstone in his brain. Yeah, so I'm not here to argue what's true and what's not true. I don't know if any of it's even been confirmed. I'll say this as far as wordplay is concerned. It's what's expected. It's really hard for me to explain this to you guys without using a comparison. It's like women saying, yeah, I just want somebody that's going to communicate with me and somebody that's going to bring something to the table, and they list these things, and I'm always taken aback, like, that's a standard. That should be expected. So when I get what's expected, my position on that person or whatever the situation is, it doesn't change whatsoever. I expect wordplay from Kendrick. On another level, I think the other level is because we're hearing him attack people again, or like go at someone specifically who is also undeniably the biggest rapper in the world. Drake is the biggest I'm not a big fan of dude. I've told you guys this, but I'm fair, man. Like in almost everything I do, as fair as I could possibly be, of course. He is the biggest rapper in the world. Kendrick does this with anybody else. This shit is not this. It's not this important. It's not this big. But I think that's the other level that you might be talking about, because it's so much more direct. The wordplay's always been there. It's just now being funneled differently, if you get what I'm saying. There is some anger, sure. There definitely is some anger, but that's to be expected in a beef. I'd hope. Okay, we're just gonna keep on going. Okay. I could believe Drake wouldn't take care of a kid. This is fire. Okay, all right, Jeremy. Cool. Enjoy the wild ride. Wait till you hear Meet the Graham. Do not like us. You know, before it was very light compared to those tracks. And you know what's funny is that when I told you guys Push-Ups was not that great, I had a lot of you disagree with me. Now, Push-Ups, as it relates to all the other ones, it ain't that great, guys. I told you guys it wasn't. You guys might still like that shit. Whatever, it's cool. But I couldn't rock with it. I noted, I was listening to all of the songs again, and the dude was rhyming the same word multiple times and changing one syllable before it. Like, look, I don't even like when the N-word is overused in hip-hop. It's not that the N-word bothers me. It doesn't bother me, and it's not a word that I use. But I don't like when it's used as a cop-out to rhyme everything and rhyme just one syllable or two syllables before. It's so fucking lazy. I hate it. I fucking hate it. And Drake was doing some of that shit with other words. And I apologize for the upload schedule being kind of fucked up. I try to fix that later on. Let's go to part 2. Okay, final thoughts, last diss, Okay. Jason again, I appreciate you. Harry, a minor is a triple because they're all white keys. Look, hey, I'm not touching this shit. You know what's so funny? I try to stay away from other content, but a short popped up and said, "Did you catch Kendrick's triple?" And I was like, there was no triple. I click on this viral ass video, and it's a content creator who, I think it's an AI voice if I'm not fucking mistaken, explain this bar that is not a triple. It's not a triple. And I look at the comments. I had to leave after I saw the first 3. It's just sad what's being perpetuated amongst the masses. Like it's really sad. These poor feeble minds that don't know any better. It's okay that you guys put too much stock and too much faith in a lot of these creators, maybe even myself included, where I'm just sharing my opinion. Maybe I share it in a way I think I might do it a little too directly, and I don't specify that it's just my thoughts or my opinion. I think I speak with some sort of weird certainty sometimes, where you guys are like, it's not adding up, right? It's supposed to be my opinion, but I'm like, yeah, this wasn't good, or whatever it is, right? I should be phrasing it, yeah, I don't think that this is good, or this is not good to me. There's that weird little dynamic. But yeah, people are always trying to make something extra when it's not. You could do that with a lot of different things, but I'm not here to do it. Not here to do it. Drake has no charisma in his words, monotone. Kendrick brings those angry poet tomes, total own. Well, then that's what you value. You want some charisma in your music. I don't. I think it's fake. I've always thought it was fake. And here it didn't sound fake. But I've told you guys this before. I like monotone rappers. I don't know why. I always have. I've always enjoyed monotone rappers. Some of you guys might disagree, but Nas is definitely monotone. Monotone. Jay-Z, for a lot of his music, monotone. There's a long list of monotone rappers that you guys probably wouldn't consider monotone rappers, but when you compare them to the people making music now that are so extra, I assure you they're fucking monotone. So, Kendrick was very poetic in a lot of these disses, but he was also off in so many different ways. Some of those transitions were fucking atrocious, and for me personally, they were atrocious. And then he was doing some extra stuff that I just didn't like. I just didn't like it. I thought that it kind of detracted from the point that he was trying to make. And but that's just me. um Evan said, pretty shocked that you have Family Matters over Meet the Grams. But that was only your first listen. Meet the Grams continues to hit harder and harder the more you listen to it. I think Drake's disses age far worse. The flows are nice, but I felt he just lacked substance in this beef. So that's going to bring me to my next point. I'm going to list this off to you guys. So, as far as songs are concerned, and you guys can disagree with me, it's perfectly fine. I still have Family Matters number one. Why I have Family Matters number one? Because it was basically 3 songs, not full songs, but 3 songs, 3 different approaches, smooth from beginning to end, catchy in some instances. There were things referenced. Sure, there was quite a few lines that I liked, but the word pairings were really solid. It was just good from beginning to end, in my personal opinion. And yes, there were some personal attacks interwoven in there, but wasn't it wasn't the most direct. But from a song perspective, I have it number 1. Number 2 is Meet the Grams, and I liked that song because I liked the beat, and I liked how conversational it was. I liked the slow pacing throughout the song. I liked the message that was being delivered in that manner. I liked the delivery in general. That's why that one was tough for me. I kind of wanted Meet the Grams to be number 1. It was really close. Not Like Us came in 3rd place as far as the song is concerned. There's only a few problems I have with that song, and I know a lot of you guys are consuming content from you guys are hearing so many different opinions, and it does influence yours. Trust me, it always does, subconsciously or not. It's a big song right now. The beat's hot, it's dope, it's catchy. There's a reason why a lot of teams across different, leagues and organizations want to use it, because Not Like Us is talking about the opposition. It's very easy to include that in a I would say like a walkout song, right? But there's some lines in there too that I'm just like, dude, it's just not good in personal opinion. It's just not good. I just don't want to hear it. It kind of just falls flat, to be quite honest with you. 616 in LA was actually really dope. That one kind of crept on me a little bit. And for the record, the first 4, Family Matters, Meet the Grams, Not Like Us, 616 in LA, and that's it. Those all make playlists. Everything else does not. It does not. So, number 5, The Heart Part 6. That was tough. I wanted that to be 6th as well. Euphoria, I almost put at number 5, but the more I listened to Euphoria, the more I did not like it. There were some parts that I did. It's just, like I said, the transitions for me are important. And then there's a few corny ass lines. I forgot which song it was, but Kendrick did the acronym for OVO, and he's like, is that other something vagina something? I was like, bro, that within itself is like blacklisted. Not really. It wasn't that egregious, but there were some lines like that, and I'm like, yo, that could have been kept out. But again, it doesn't detract from all the other good parts. And Kendrick's had those pockets where he gets into it. That Elohim fucking whatever, I forgot what he did. See you bleed. That whole thing, like, that is so much more impactful to me as a writer, than coming up with a decent bar that everybody else somehow thinks is hot. But 7 is like that. And yeah, I mean, Future kind of watered that one down for me. I liked Kendrick's verse, and there were some good bars in that song, and it sounded like kind of like old Kendrick, and the pacing was perfect. The way that he delivered those bars was good, what I expected. And then 8 is Push-Ups. Just sorry guys, just don't like that song. Now, as far as the beef significance, number 1 is Meet the Grams. That, as far as the beef is concerned, is the best diss. If you think it's not like us, I'm sorry, but you're wrong. You're wrong. Objectively. Wrong. There's no way. How could Not Like Us, if you think Not Like Us is a better diss, it's okay if you think it's a better song, but if you think it's a better diss record than Meet the Grams, then your mind was influenced by the pizzazz. And that's okay. So number 2 is Family Matters. As far as beef significance is concerned, I thought it had enough in there. Especially it kind of honed in on the more of the women beating type accusations. And there's also some little subtle jabs in there too that I think were overlooked, that I wish that I had time to kind of go over. But since you can't confirm or deny any of this shit, it's like, do you even pay attention to it? Because I didn't pay attention to the vast majority of the accusations from either side. I was just listening to it from a song perspective for the most part, but I did have to, obviously, when I did a re-listen, I had to like turn that part off in my head, like, okay, let's listen to the actual beef, let's listen to what's actually being said. So number 3 is Not Like Us. Number 4 is 616 in LA. Number 5 is actually Push-Ups, as far as beef significance is concerned. Number 6, I have Euphoria. Number 7, I have Like That. And number 8, I have The Heart Part 6. The Heart Part 6, I have it number 5 as a song, but I have it last place in 8th place as far as beef is concerned. The beef is concerned, just because he was like fighting on his back foot. He was being a little too defensive. He was addressing things I don't feel he should have addressed. I think he should have attacked, but it seemed more like hey, this is the last I'm gonna talk about this shit. I'm kind of over it. Like, I'm out. And I think that was a mistake, personally. When I said Drake took this, do I stand by it? It's hard. Because as much as I want to say he did, I know deep down that upon my first listen that I was wrong. He did not win this beef. No. Kendrick won the beef. But in my opinion, I still think Drake had the best diss, which is Family Matters. And I'm going to stick by that regardless. Like I said, Not Like Us is it's a dope track. I could see Marshawn Lynch on the field. I know he doesn't play anymore, but I could see, I'm a Raiders fan, by the way, I would know. Yeah, I could see him on the field, like, getting fucking hyped to this shit. Like, it's one of those songs. I get it. It's a banger, bro. It's a fucking banger. But I'm good. I can see the allure. I see the appeal. But like I said, there's some parts in that song where I'm not cringing. It's just not for me. It's not for me. And that's kind of that. I don't want to pick apart these songs. I noticed that in my reactions, now that I'm trying to be a little bit more tactful with my opinion, I'm not over explaining, but that's also the problem, because I'm just telling you that I don't like something without telling you why or picking it apart. But when I used to do that, I would also say how things should have been said or how things could have been restructured, and that would prompt a very weird response from a lot of people. So it kind of puts me in a weird spot. But yeah, I wasn't going to cover this. I mean, I look at it from a opportunity cost perspective. These videos didn't do anything for me, didn't do anything for the channel. Obviously, this was, there was a few reasons why I did it. The main one was because of the altercation that happened at work. I was like, bro, is this shit that serious? And granted, the way things were being said and argued, that's what kind of heightened it all. But what sparked it was this fucking debate, which is crazy to me, right? But also, yeah, I mean, this to give you guys some more content to watch. I mean, obviously, if there wasn't even a small audience to watch this, I wouldn't have made this. So yeah, man, those are my thoughts. Let me know yours down below. And yeah, that's kind of it, man. Like, I don't think this is over. I think Drake might release something. I have no idea. I'll do my absolute best to cover it, but like I said, from an opportunity cost standpoint, like it's just not there for me. Part of me wants to do more hip hop, but most of the Patreon stuff, just so you guys know, it's all hip hop. The vast majority of it is all hip hop. So, and my music is there too. So if some of you guys are like, who the fuck is this guy? He's a terrible rapper. He doesn't, people would say that without listening to my music. But if you go onto the Patreon and you become a member and you hear my music, you'll start to understand how I write and what I'm listening for and the things that I like in general. I don't expect myself from other rappers. Do I think I'm better than a lot of them? Yes, I do. I have to hold that belief. I think most rappers would think that of themselves. But yeah, I just have a different standpoint on that. And I think I've only had one person outside of the Patreon listen to my music, which is Shay. Shout out to Shay. Shay, he's praised me before. He's heard some stuff. We did a little something together as well that I wrote really fast. If I ever were to do something that I would put out, I would take my time. I don't remember how long it took me to write that. I wrote that and recorded it within a lunch break. So, but yeah, so my closing statement, again, Drake lost the beef, but he had the best song. In my opinion, he had the best song. He did not have the best diss, but he had the best song. When you look at it as a collective, Kendrick kind of overwhelmed him with a lot of those songs. Like, none of them sounded the same. They all had their unique sound. And I respect Kendrick for that. But I think the writing was just a little sloppy in some instances, and I think I expected a little bit more personally, because I know that he's capable. But I also know that some of you are okay with what you guys hear because you guys listen to music differently than I do, and I'm not saying my way is better. I'm not. It's just the way that I listen. I have no other way to listen to it. It just is what it is. But yeah, as a rapper, yeah, Kendrick was like in different pockets. Yeah, he was rapping. He was definitely rapping. Kendrick does what I don't do. I don't do that whole I don't rap like that. That's not how I rap. It's like I said, it's always more conversational. Can I do that? Of course I can. It's not that it's hard. It's just I don't like doing that. You know what I mean? It's just it's a very unique situation. But that's gonna be all for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. It is greatly appreciated as always, and I do hope to catch you all on the next one.